Okay, so what actually happens is my story. You have an idea, everything makes sense, all the stars align, it looks perfect, you can fund it, you can afford it, it should make money, there's demand, we have the supply, go. We go, and then a hiccup happens. Okay, we expected a hiccup. Another hiccup happens. Okay, we expected that hiccup. Another hiccup, that's COVID-19 happens. And you're just like, boom, you think it's 2 weeks. You just hired 16 people. They just flew their families in. And 2 weeks turns to 2 years. Go to the bank. Hey, I need a loan. Can't get even anyone to sit down and talk to you. So why do you think that it would ever be possible, maybe, to have it to where there's a checklist to where you don't waste your time? And then that way also to allow people to forecast and do some sort of like a pipeline forecast so they know whether they're ready or not. And then the last thing is, do you think, because we're talking about AI later, an AI bank would be able to use something like that so that we could, better predict what our chances are of getting help when we need it?
Yeah. So, as someone who works with, lenders, I could give people, like, I have a pretty good idea of what, like from a business loan, what would be the minimum criteria. And many of the things are, you have to, basically, the longer you've been in business, the easier it is to get a commercial loan. And the amount of experience of the managers is also usually a critical factor. Okay. So it's really difficult to get a loan for a startup unless it's like part of some sort of, government program.
Yeah. Well, even then, if you haven't been
Right. So
operating for 2 years, you don't get it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's also the same. Nobody's going to give you a loan if you haven't been operating for 2 years, probably, because it's really speculative.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Or maybe you could get like a $5,000 line of credit that's SBA guaranteed or something, but it's like not much.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. But like, you talked about AI. If you are able to demonstrate a lending model that is like relatively low risk and, have the data to support that, and it's, you can show that to your regulator or whatever, then you probably could do it that way. But the role of like a bank regulator or a credit union regulator is primarily to keep the ship from sinking by like not making bad loans. And that means not making risky loans. Okay. So the bank might want to do it, but the government is sitting there being like, but you only have so much capital. Okay. And so this is too big a risk. And so we don't want you to do a debt service coverage above 125% or whatever, which is like, for example.
Well, okay.
So that's like a big part of it. I think financial counseling, like, it's, if you're able to find, financial counseling geared towards small businesses, I think not only that sort of help you with knowing, am I ready for a loan, but also knowing which lenders to go to, because a lot of them are highly variable in terms of their risk tolerance.
I think the problem here is that you've got left and right brain meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem because even your response is all left brain. It's all science and data oriented, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of being an entrepreneur is art. And it's timing and it's rhythm. And if you miss the boat, you can't get back on it. Yes. So I think that's where art and science meet in the middle is entrepreneurship. But the problem is, I think the bankers, they don't see the art. They only see the science. And same thing with the entrepreneurs. They're so busy bragging about their, Swarovski covered cupcakes that they don't understand that that's just a bad business model. That just doesn't make, that won't make you money. It'll get you compliments.
Yeah.
Make you feel real good, but that's not going to make money. Right. And we're here to make money. So I think I'm hoping that with AI, we can bring both sides, just like politics, closer to the center. And I think that with the way things are done now, I'm just telling you from my own experience, it's purely based on the left. There is no urgency when it comes to shit. If we get this right now, this could be a big money grab, right? If you I had a contract at NIH building 10. We did 2, 4, 7 under somebody, another contractor. And then 10, they said, dude, why don't you guys come do this?
Yeah.
So, when we bid it, we couldn't get the money from a bank to buy the material. So we won the contract, we had to forfeit it, give it to the other guy that we did the other work for. And he paid us $15,000 less. It was, It was a $900,000 job.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that would have catapulted us.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get the
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
funding. And I know I'm not the only person, so
Yeah.
it's cool to talk to bank guys. But I think my goal is to use AI to kind of bring the left brain a little more center,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also teach the dreamers out here that, hey, you have to learn what a budget is.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to create a forecast, you know,
Yeah.
and then we have to work off of these ledgers.
Right. And
to manage your
there's
journey.
actually are some fintechs out there that are trying to do that sort of thing, like whether it'll catch on, but like kind of an AI based, you know, like entrepreneurial coaching thing.
Yeah.
And potentially working with lenders as well on there.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know, underwriting is an area where AI is starting to be used. It's been used in fraud, anti-fraud, and anti-money laundering for a long time.
Oh, well, yeah. Every time I buy groceries and then go pump gas, my car gets locked. So
really?
that's AI.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think this has been productive. Neither one of us were planning for it, but thank you. You're very knowledgeable.
No, thank you.
And I think it's just me. I think you definitely have an audience. I don't know if you care to have one, but I think there's a lot of people out here that just don't get to hear people like you talk.
I'd love to talk to you again. It'd be great. You know, I used to be a financial or, you know, trade association executive. So I had a lot of experience kind of explaining things. So I'd love to talk with you again.
Yeah. Can you just look at the camera and
Sure.
say, look at this one,
Okay.
and say your name and then who you are and where you can be found?
Yeah, so I'm Michael Edwards. I'm a financial services lawyer based in the D.C. area in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and my website is www.credituniionslaw.com.
Do you do work in Maryland, Virginia, and DC, or just Maryland?
Well, I do federal work mostly,
Okay,
which
so
could
it's
be
everywhere.
for people anywhere in the country. Mostly, other than that, I'm just focused in Maryland. But it's you know, federally insured credit unions with federal regulations or tax issues or things like that. It's federal.
Big brain stuff.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.